And it's the week that a decisive breakthrough arrived in Libya's civil war when Tripoli was the scene of a major battle between the rebels and forces fighting for longtime leader Colonel Gaddafi. The opposition claims it now controls most of the capital, while resistance continues among Gaddafi loyalists in some parts of the country. Let's get more from RT's Maria Finoshina, who is in the Libyan capital live. Now, Masha, thanks for joining us. At this moment in time, we're hearing about concerns for the humanitarian situation in Tripoli. Are there any signs of it getting better at this moment?
Well, as the rebels report that they are now controlling most of the Libyan capital, it seems that they're now facing the battle of another kind of a humanitarian one. The situation here on the ground is very complicated, it's very difficult, and this is very close to humanitarian catastrophe because the city is now facing severe shortages of running water, electricity, gasoline and medicine. Even in the hotel where we are staying and where most of the foreign journalists are staying, we have serious problems with that. People use public taps throughout the city to get some water. We've seen many of them lining up with their plastic cans, trying to do that all across Tripoli, and also they use electric generators to produce some electricity. Since the city's municipal services have been paralyzed, streets are full of garbage and people are trying to clean it themselves, try to do something with that in the evening. Since Ramadan, life here usually starts in the evening. In the evening, they come out to the streets with brooms and trash bags. But of course, they say that their attempts are not enough to deal with this situation, and many of them concerned that it will take a while for their life to get back to normal. People here in Tripoli also live in fear of anarchy. There is no police in the city, and here again people are trying to deal with the situation themselves. The order now here in the Libyan capital is maintained by armed volunteers. There are checkpoints every 100 or 200 meters. They check every car passing by, and in the evening we drive with lights switched on inside the car just to allow people at the checkpoints to see us. It's still not safe here in Tripoli, and people are afraid to leave their houses. That's why the Libyan capital looks quite empty, and in some districts even abandoned. And just a piece of good news, the rebels have recently announced that they'd strengthened their hold on the road from Tripoli to the Tunisian border, known as Major Supply Route, which expects to help improve the situation, but so far the picture is not bright at all. Back to you.
Now, Masha, you mentioned that it is still not safe there in Tripoli, and the city is obviously still reeling, trying to recover from the fight that has taken place there. In the midst of all this, there is still a hunt for Colonel Gaddafi. Can you tell us a little bit more about the latest on that situation?
Well, the rebels are now claiming that they are currently preparing for an assault on Gaddafi's native town, Sirte, which is about 600 kilometers east of the capital, Tripoli. And this city is thought to be Gaddafi's last stronghold. And they say they are now waiting for NATO to help them to clear the path. And as soon as it's done, they will advance towards Sirte. We've been hearing airplanes during day and night, and recently we've heard from NATO that it had carried out several airstrikes here in the capital Tripoli and in the south of the country, and some military targets have been hit, military facilities and vehicles, and a surface-to-surface missile launcher. Meanwhile, as you just said, indeed a hunt for Gaddafi is undergoing. We've recently been hearing numerous reports from the rebels leaders that they know Gaddafi's whereabouts, and there have been several reports that Gaddafi had been cornered, but still we don't have any sign of Gaddafi so far. Meanwhile, there are reports that the colonel had fled the country in an armed convoy towards Algeria, but as far as we know, the foreign minister of Algeria didn't confirm this information and had denied this information. Back to you.
All right, RT's Maria Finoshina reporting from the Libyan capital, Tripoli. And of course, we'll keep you updated as more information becomes available.